expect him to have at least kept up with the meta. So
Yeah, the priest. I feel like there's been a rise in the priest lately since we've seen some decks that have been pretty popular in the metagame. But it looks like they're getting started. And here we go, guys. Game number one between Amaz and Kungen, kicking Deck Wars Season 1 finals off right now. All right, let's see what they're going to get here.
all right, so it looks like Kungen did go with a Miracle Rogue.
Yep.
Obviously, we see the Conceal and the Shadow Step, which probably means he's running Gadgetsons and Leroys. And Amaz has chosen the very solid, very stable Control Warrior.
Yeah, the Kit Kat's warrior has the Kor'kron Elite in it. This is pretty much the standard warrior at this time. And
Yeah,
I mean, generally speaking, the Miracle Rogue does pretty well against this deck, I believe.
that's true. If he's running a second Armorsmith, that can help a lot. We do see that he is running Brawl, so he probably took out something like the Cleave or the Black Knight, which is mostly a dead card against Miracle Rogue. We
Okay.
do see something interesting in Kungen's hand.
Yeah, he's leading off with a Van Cleef, actually. Kind of an early 4/4 Van Cleef. He's got a Cold Blood in there just to kind of accelerate his draw here. Howard, what do you think about the Van Cleef? What do you think about that early Van Cleef play?
I think that's early Van Cleef. I think is fine. It's pretty difficult for a warrior to deal with a 4/4 if they don't have the charger. Otherwise, it's going to take multiple cards just to kill it, and it's very possible that it gets in just a ton of damage before Amaz is able to answer it. I mean,
Yeah,
obviously we
Amaz-
know that he has the Kor'kron, but
Maz is definitely off to a kind of, just a bit of a slow start with the cards he drew. A lot of
Yeah,
cards at the end of his mana curve, but he's got the
his
Kor'kron.
hand is very clunky
Yeah, definitely.
overall. It's kind of unfortunate for Amaz because it's not just getting miracled out, as it were, by the rogue deck. It's very possible just to die to kind of like their mid-range stuff.
Yeah.
And if Amaz doesn't start drawing some answers, then that actually looks like it's something that could happen.
Yeah, I mean, he does have the Brawl, which can help with the Gadgetzan. It can give you like that 50-50 a lot of times to get rid of the Gadgetzan. But Kungen actually is running that Cold Light Oracle, which we haven't seen in Miracle since, one of the earlier type of versions of it, where card draw, just cycling, and that was the main goal for any kind of minion in the deck. So it's kind of cool to see it introduced again here.
Yeah, Cold Light Oracle is something we haven't seen very much of. And it's kind of interesting because it actually helped out Amaz quite a bit.
Yeah,
Kungen doesn't know that Amaz's hand is clunky, but Amaz is probably thinking, thank God he didn't just drop another an SI7 agent or something.
Yeah. Looks like Kungen's got a lot of choices here. He's got 3 spells that are actually 0 here with the Gadgetzan if he wants, but he's going to actually wait a turn. Going to play the Thalnos, clear the board with the Fan of Knives, and he's looking pretty good here. Amaz doesn't have any kind of board clearing type of opportunities except for Brawl here in turn 6.
Yep.
And Brawl seems like a bit, I don't know, it seems a little wasteful here, but against the Miracle Rogue, maybe it's not that wasteful.
Yeah, I mean, normally you want to save Brawl for when they conceal, if possible.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Amaz do something like Kor'kron into the Thalnos and then armor up.
Yeah, I think that'd be a good play too.
Brawling is a little bit weak here. He might even just Whirlwind, or copy Thalnos and then Whirlwind. That seems a little bit wasteful, but keeps a couple minions off the board.
Yeah.
Gets a little bit of armor maybe, depending on which line he takes, and saves his Brawl for the Gadgetzan play.
Yeah, that's a good point. Faceless, there's not very many things that you're going to want a Faceless from the Rogue. I mean, of course the Gadgetzan's an obvious target, but a lot of times it's concealed. You're not going to be able to waste 5 mana on a Faceless and just pass. So, yeah, I mean, maybe Facelessing that, getting a card out of that, and removing a single unit. And he's thinking about the Whirlwind, but he's just going to lead with it. So.
I think the Whirlwind is fine. I mean, he's looking at Baron's turn. So Baron Geddon kind of clears the board a little bit.
Plays the Kor'kron, goes straight for the face there. Like you said, the Baron Geddon's going to clear the board. No reason to really clear the Oracle there. Looks like Kungen's got a lot of options on this turn. He's going to...
As with Miracle Rogue, you always have a lot of things you can do on your turn. So
Yeah, definitely. All right, so let's see what are his choices here. He's got obviously the Gadget Zan, and he's got 1 mana to play with after that.
yeah.
He's
Well,
got a
he does have a
he's got 2
preparation.
backstab. Hmm.
The most important decision Kungen has here is, do I gadgets it or not? And I think that this is a pretty good turn for it, because you can do something like gadgets and backstab. I mean, hit for 5, see what you draw, of course, and then maybe just conceal. You're drawing a few cards, you're getting some damage in, and your guys are mostly protected. Amaz does have potentially a good answer to the Gadget Zen, but
The brawl.
it's still pretty close. Yeah, in the brawl.
Okay, well he drew a Blade Flurry there, which isn't gonna help him here. He's gonna go ahead and Cold Blood the Gadget Zan, which I think is gonna lead into a conceal here for sure. Actually, he's not gonna do the Gadget Zan. He's gonna actually Cold Blood the Oracle instead.
Yeah, this is actually really smart by Kungen. I mean, he killed off the Korkron Elite, and he has guaranteed himself either a 6-power guy or the Gadgetzin, if Amaz actually has a brawl. So it's a really smart play from him.
Yeah, definitely a really good one. So it looks like he's not going to opt for the brawl. He's going to go for the Baron Geddon, and which means that Kungen is going to have a crazy drawing turn upcoming here with all those spells, and he's got the Gadget Zan. He's got the 7 mana too to play with. So this is
I think
this
he
is going
just has
to be
lethal,
really bad.
right?
Yeah, does he have lethal here? Let's see. He's got the
he's
got Leroy.
He's got lethal
Cold
with
Blood.
Leroy
Yeah,
and the
he's got lethal.
And I mean, like we saw, kind of like an awkward hand from Amaz, and what's basically just a bunch of mid-range stuff and value damage from Kungen.
Yep.
And Amaz just was a little bit too behind the whole game.
All right, it's going to Shadow Step the Leroy here, and then Cold Blood the Gadget Zan for the win. So Kungen takes the first game 1-0 in a best-of-5 matchup between Amaz and himself here. What'd you think of that? What'd you think of